This tribe is so bad, we're like the Cavaliers when LeBron left the first time. We suck. We can't win anything. This tribe is falling apart. Emotionally, physically, everything.
Or are you? A commenter recently recommended I look at the worst tribes in Survivor history statistically, and even said, we all know about the tribes in Palau, but what about after that? All I can say is, you fool! Oolong isn't even on the list. They won multiple reward challenges, they just suck at winning immunity. But I appreciate the suggestion, and it seems like a fun topic, so let's see what we get. Before we begin, let's quickly shout out Survive R, which is in fact linked in the description. There are a few metrics we could use to define the worst tribe. There's lowest average placement amongst members, absolute number of challenges lost, most votes received cumulatively as a tribe. I've decided to go for the simple percentage of challenges won. I also considered looking at tribes in different phases. For example, post-swap Shapira in All-Stars wasn't really doing very well, but they got messy very quickly with a surprising number of tribes that existed for a few episodes where their only purpose was to lose every challenge and be sad. Can relate. I was worried that not accounting for tribe swaps would lead to lots of tribes that sucked, but not as a collective, and may even point to a location being bad instead of the group itself. But interestingly, seasons with swapped tribes tended to have more even ratios, as the good challenge performers got shaken up. There are some exceptions, and I'll be sure to cover those because they're pretty fun. With that out of the way, top several worst tribes in Survivor history. Oh, we actually have a 5-way tie for number several, or I guess a tie for number 4, which in turn makes this a top 8. So how am I going to break this? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is remove Lyro from the list. They won 2 out of 10 challenges from their time on Island of the Idols, but are the only case in this tie where arguably they were 2 different tribes due to a swap. But beyond that, breaking the tie isn't straightforward. We can't just do absolute value of challenges lost, because that still leaves us with 2 groups of ties. So I'm going to put these in the order that feels correct to me, and you let me know in the comments which tribe you think is the worst. Here we go. At number several we have Lesu from Edge of Extinction. This is the tribe that formed after the swap randomly banished 5 people into a desolate hellscape while the other 10 got to return to a pre-existing camp. Yeah, I don't like the twist very much. In fact, I'm thinking of making a video talking about the issue with the 3-tribe format. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Back to loser Lesu. They consisted of Wardog, who can't throw, Kelly, who brained herself at the first challenge, David, who's doing his best. It's not exactly a stacked tribe physically. What about the other tribes though? Joe? Eric? Aurora? Gavin? Damn, they're screwed, aren't they? Combine this with the fact that by being the newly created tribe, they had literally nothing for them. No pre-existing rewards, no pre-existing shelter, nothing. It's easy to see how this tribe could collapse. I've mainly put them here because they may have won another challenge had there not been the deal of 2 tribes go to tribal at the end of the pre-merge. I mean, it was the challenge where Wardog was going absolutely beast mode. They could have won it. Here's a fun fact for you. Despite only ever winning 1 challenge, every single member of this tribe made the merge. In fact, they even all made the top 10. Edge of Extinction is so funny, man.
Yeah, we're not very good at challenges.
Next up we have To Tang, also known as the Brawn tribe from Survivor Rong, who also only won 1 out of 5 challenges. For a tribe that was labelled as the Brawns, they weren't very good at challenges. But why? I think it's really easy to point at Alicia and say that it's her fault, but I don't think that's entirely fair. Let's look at each challenge. In episode 1, Darnell lost the goggles early on, making it hard to catch up. In episode 2 they just had terrible communication. Episode 3 they won. Then the reward in episode 4 completely sapped their strength as that challenge nearly killed everyone. But because they'd lost before, they couldn't rest anyone for the next challenge, meaning they were up against the best of the best from the other 2 tribes. That in of itself is a flaw in the game of Survivor. Yes, I sound like Russell here, I'm so sorry.
America needs to have a percentage of the votes.
But I think it was more a lack of communication and animosity on the tribe that caused them to fail, as opposed to any one person. Weirdly enough, you don't get too many perfectly functional tribes on this list. I wonder why that is.
Do you think it's okay to break me down in a challenge when I'm part of your team?
I'm not trying to break you down. I'm trying to tell you to shut up and dig.
At number 5 we have Luzon, also known as the Brains tribe from Survivor Cagayan, who also won 1 in 5 challenges. Remember how I said it was unfair to blame Alicia for Totang's failings? Yeah, don't apply that to Luzon. Well, do actually, it would be weird to blame Alicia for Luzon's failings, you know what I mean. Jatia did everything in her power to get voted out ASAP, and they just refused to. That's simply a 500 IQ move right there I'm too stupid to understand. Step 1, dump the rice in the fire. Step 2, wait, they're not going to vote her out for that? Okay then. Now, was Garrett good at Survivor? No. Do I understand why Cass and Tasha voted him out? Yes. I even concede it was probably the best move for their game. But my god, it makes it very hard to be sympathetic when they continue to get mollywopped. The editors even felt the need to include a practice on the beats montage for the only challenge they won. I have to assume it's because without this clip of them actually practicing the skills required for this one specific challenge, but I'll assume they just cheated somehow. This tribe was so bad at challenges, they managed to lose when the Brawn tribe was throwing it. That's embarrassing. A good chunk of the Brawn tribe did not want to win and they still managed to beat you. But it is interesting that everyone who survived did make the top 6 this season.
We're not the Brain Tribe, we're the Crap for Brain Tribe. I mean, just a rolling logjam mess with a couple of nerds on top.
At number 4, and the last of the ties on the list, we have Foa Foa from Survivor Samoa. Here's a fun fact. Dehydration is bad. Makes it very hard to think straight. Makes it very hard to perform well in challenges. Here's another fun fact. Socks are important. They keep you warm. You lose a lot of heat through your feet if you don't have any way to cover them. And funnily enough, one of the challenges this tribe won happened before Russell started burning socks, tipping out water and burying machetes in the ground. I wonder if there's any correlation there. Mayhaps even a cheeky causation or two, dare I say. I think it's straightforward to see how outright sabotage can make it quite difficult to perform in a challenge, but it's also a good case study in the fact that going to tribal isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's good to solidify bonds before the merge and make sure you got people around you can actually trust. Maybe you don't want to keep the people around that burn your socks, unless you're Natalie, or Sandra.
How in the world are they beating us in puzzles, Mick? Jason, you went to medical school. Jason went to freaking Oxford, Stanford.
I can't explain it, my friend.
At number 3, finally escaping all of those ties, we have Koyopa from Survivor San Juan del Sur. They competed in 11 challenges and won 2 of them, which is 18.2%. However, one of those challenges was a heroes duel where Wes valiantly defeated Keith. So really they won 1 out of 11 challenges. Brings them down to 9.1%, but that is still 3rd place. But you know what's even funnier? The one challenge they did win? No they didn't, it was thrown! By badass and master manipulator of the game, Drew Christie. That's right, we're one smart move away from having a tribe go 0 for 11 in challenges, butterfly effect notwithstanding. But why? What could cause a tribe to do this poorly? It's not like they're significantly weaker than the other tribe. They even have baseball legend John Wetland on the team to help out. It's a blood versus water season, half of these competitors are literally perfect foils for one another. Remember how dehydration caused Foa Foa to lose a bunch? Turns out starving is also a bad thing to do. But Henry, this is Survivor, surely both tribes were starving. Not so fast, straw man. Turns out, Hunapu was just eating as much rice as they physically could? Gang had 39 days worth of rice and exhausted it in 11 days. What the heck? How much were they eating? At least triple portions of rice each day, surely. That's the only feasible way to run out so fast. No wonder Koyopa lost. They were actually playing Survivor. I'm 90% sure Hunapu was actively bulking. You know what's even funnier to me? Hunapu runs out of rice. Jeff comes over to negotiate with them. But it's right after the swap. Alec, Josh, and Wes are all getting punished for something they didn't even do. They've been starving and Jeff is tearing into them over here. Worst of all, Missy, the biggest perpetrator of this, isn't even here to get yelled at. There is no justice in this world. It does make a good entry on the list though.
We can't catch a break. What do you do? Heck, I mean, we were there today.
Speaking of rich versus poor, at number 2 we have Ravu in Survivor Fiji. They won 1 out of 13 challenges, or 7.7%. And I just can't figure out why. Survivor Fiji featured the infamous haves versus have-nots twist, where they set out to test something incredible. Can one tribe, when given absolutely nothing at all, beat a tribe that has the absolute life of luxury? Can you truly pull yourself up by your bootstraps? In a shocking twist, no. It turns out we can't all simply just work harder than Jeff Bezos. Turns out giving one tribe a roof, toilet, cutlery, hammock, coffee machine, sofa, pillows, and contrasting that with dirt, does in fact make one tribe better than the other. How about that? We could talk about how Rocky was kind of a dick to everyone, how the tribe didn't get along, how Moto literally gave them immunity because they wanted to keep their shelter. At the end of the day, this happened because of a very dumb idea that I still don't understand making past the planning phase of the season. And it's still only somehow barely in the top 5 worst twist ideas.
I'm surrounded by losers. You know what's going on? That they know that they suck. And when you know you suck, you suck. Dude, I'm telling you, this whole tribe is a sinking ship.
Coming in at number 1, you've all been expecting it, it's Matt Singh from Survivor Philippines. This tribe went 0 for 4 in challenges, and while lots of tribes have lost 4 challenges before, even 4 challenges in a row, I think Matt Singh is the most interesting case. It was the perfect blend. First you have the 3-tribe format. You'd think the 3-tribe format is a good thing. You'd almost expect it to make it easier for tribes to not get steamrolled. After all, you don't need to win challenges anymore, you just have to not lose. But no, time and time again we've seen 1 in 3 tribes get absolutely decimated, and there are a few factors here. First of all, every challenge Matt Singh lost was a combined reward/immunity. This means they had no chance to win anything to replenish their soul. No chance to improve their camp life between punishing tribal councils. Secondly, it means they were always facing the strongest opponents. Like say for example you tore your ACL on the first day. Now you can sit out every single challenge and not weaken your tribe. But even without the 3-tribe format kinda screwing them over, Matt Singh just kinda sucked. Roxy wasn't great at challenges, Angie wasn't great at challenges, Russell couldn't even climb a ladder and wasn't a great leader despite thinking he was. Zane quit smoking the day before going out there. Absolute legend. One day we will understand the layers of complexity to your game.
I'm playing chess the best way I know how, and hopefully, I'm gonna king me.
This was the perfect storm. Everything came together for God, I mean Jeff, to just condemn this tribe. And it didn't get better for Denise.
What is it about this game that fights me so much? Last time I almost died, and I thought this time it's gonna be different, and then we lose the first challenge, and then we lose the second challenge, now we've lost the third challenge.
But what do you think? Are these the worst tribes in Survivor history? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I've been Henry Hickman Survivor, and I'll see you at the next challenge.